Thank you, baby. Just close the door up for me. Yeah, let me
Watch YouTube videos.
I know. And eat. Love you, thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, YouTube.
Oh,
It just started, so
I turn around.
technically this started a YouTube video.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel.
Welcome to the stream.
Welcome to the stream.
I'll share it a little bit for you.
Thank you, thank you.
You're welcome.
This
What am I
tragedy
saying
isn't
here?
something that you can just put
Oh,
easy
wait a
and
minute.
clean label.
That's the son of Ruby, Frankie's estranged husband's son breaks for silence. Yeah, this is the oldest son.
On. It's a very complex story.
I just had a 12-year-old boy show up here at my front door. He's got duct taped around each ankle. He's obviously covered in wounds.
Frankie, how do you plead to count 1, child abuse,
Guilty.
to count 3, child abuse?
With my deepest regret and sorrow for my family and my children. Guilty.
A lot of the physical violence that was described was hidden and kept from me. I didn't even know that those things happened, and I think Ruby was really careful to hide a lot of that from me. As far as the things like sleeping on a beanbag, removing Chad from sports teams and things, all of those directives came from Jody, the licensed mental health counselor. I definitely voiced my opposition and concern, and it was always flipped back onto me of saying, well, you know, this is why your children are disobedient. This is why you're having problems with your children, because you just enable them all the time. You're the problem, Kevin.
When you work with a licensed therapist who is giving you advice, and you know you've trusted her for 5 years, and you know, at first it was great advice, and you know I felt like she did a really good job with me. But you know, when you build a relationship for 5 years, and when it gets to the point where your mom also trusts her more than she trusts her husband. For my dad, I understand that, you know, in order to get his family back and to not run into problems with my mom and our therapist, you know, he had to obey her rules and follow each step.
I think it's relatively easy for somebody out there who's, you know, armchairing this and looking at this experience going, well, why didn't he just do that? I would have done that. If, you know, it was day number 1 and Jody came to me and said, yeah, you know, you're selfish. You need to go into separation and repent. I would have told her to take a hike. I would have been like, you're crazy. And I did say that. And, the first time I was introduced to
It's not loud in my ear, though.
But you have to remember, and these individuals have to remember, that this was now, you know, I was 2.5 years in this program now, and Jody doesn't start from day one saying stuff like that. She gets her hooks into you and slowly begins to
No, I touched that one. I didn't touch that bottom one.
indoctrinate
The
you
bottom one touches
and
you, controls your
condition
headphones.
you to believe things
That's why it's
about
quiet.
yourself
This
and
was the
to
mic.
willingly give power to other people because you come to believe that you yourself aren't capable of making good decisions. When that was suggested to me after all of that indoctrinating and conditioning, at the time it seemed like, oh, you're right, okay. But, you know, again, I understand for somebody who wasn't in it that it would seem strange. There was that coercion and flipping it back onto me, the gaslighting, that I was like, okay, well, maybe I am wrong. Maybe this is the right way to parent.
Wow.
But I know that there's a
Crazy how you
lot
let a stranger,
of
like,
sentiment
change your
out
thought.
there, and you know, I think I want to address this very directly and very clearly. One of the things that I've been so upset about with the popular media's narrative of this experience is how they've collapsed the timeline. And they've taken the events of 2023, which were criminal,
2 years ago,
which were
he looks great, the
atrocious and
son.
horrific, and they've just smashed them all the way back into previous years and extrapolated and assumed that those types of criminal activities were occurring years before Jody entered our family, and that's just simply not true. The criminal physical stuff happened after Jody came into the picture, and the severe and the strict consequences and outcomes came
let a
after
stranger come in
Jody
your house and take care of
came into the picture. Ruby herself, though,
nothing ever happened to him.
was, throughout our marriage, she
He's
took
saying
a
he didn't know
very
about it.
strict stance when it came to parenting.
Yeah.
And I think she learned a lot of that from her own parents and her own family. The rules, the boundaries of the separation were completely defined by my former wife Ruby and by Jody. What made it difficult was, they could cross
I can't get over
the
how good the son looks. I'm
anytime
so glad they made it.
and that was okay. That was, quote unquote, in truth. But if I were to seek, even attempt to cross that boundary, that was an evidence that I was being selfish, that I was unsafe, and that likely my marriage would have ended. Well, Ruby had a few communications with me. I don't recall anymore the exact number of times, but it was always around logistics. Some neighbors and things and early on in the separation would reach out when they started to realize, like, whoa, like, what are you doing? As I'm sure Chad can share his perspective as well. We were both really indoctrinated that we needed complete isolation in order to
They sent him away
heal.
to like a thing in
And
Arizona.
that if we were interacting with anybody
survive
that
and
was
stuff.
contrary to the messaging that Jody, the other men in connections, and Ruby wanted us to accept and ingest, then we were being selfish.
I was also required to move out of the house and never contact my siblings, never go back home. So it's funny because a couple people did reach out. A neighbor saw me riding my bike to school and to work, and she felt so bad because she realized I was a minor. I was 17, out living on my own, and so she offered to buy me a car, and I really wanted to take that up, but Jody, who's my therapist and I trusted and loved, at that point, she wanted me to live a very physical, straining and mental straining life while I was out there. That was her mindset when it came to repentance and changing, is put yourself through as much pain as possible. So
beautiful teeth.
Yeah, that was a really hard year, physically and emotionally, not being able to have any family for that long and no contact at all. And
that right there, what Chad just expressed, is the common theme in these separations that Jody recommends and that she would tell us to do as her treatment. She insisted that we subject ourselves to pain and discomfort, and pain and discomfort would be what would change us, what would make us stronger. This documentary is an excellent project that will give people a much closer view of the real story. But even the documentary can only cover so much in 3 episodes. There's much more that I hope to share in the future.
Can't really talk because he's still married,
and
right?
help people understand about this experience. A lot of people will look at me and say, how could he ever do that? I would never do that. But, for those who respectfully ask me about that and say, how could you? My response to that is, well, who do you love more than anybody? And sometimes it's a child,
I'm tearing his food
it's a
up.
spouse, they say, and I say, well, what would happen if that individual that you love more than anybody started to go a different way and was inviting you and encouraging you? Would you just easily be able to let them go, easily be able to say, you're out of my life, goodbye? And that really gets people thinking. And so, I want people to really think about that. Another thing that I hope people think about after watching this is the role that social media and the internet plays in our lives today. and how it really fanned the flames of this story and spread it like wildfire. The truths and the falsities of it. The dangers that can come when you place yourself or your family or your children into the public spotlight on social media. There's a lot of incentives out there today to do that, but I hope that people really stop and recognize, is this really what's best for my kids? Not just financially, but emotionally and psychologically. The things that you see that are concerning in the documentary, such as the sternness, the yelling at the kids to get them to comply, and the filming and those kinds of things. I think a lot of people that aren't familiar with family content creation would look at that and go, that's horrible. That's abusive. And it is abusive. But what I want people to understand is that was not unique to our family. I don't know a single family content creator that did not have interactions like that with their children.
Yeah, and I can testify the same. I mean, we would go on, big YouTube trips, and there would be so many family vloggers there with so many kids and cameras out, and the stuff that my mom did behind the scenes, like yelling or get back in place or say that again, or the sternness, that wasn't just my mom as well. I mean, a lot of vloggers and parents who are putting their kids on camera, they act the exact same. They want their kids to repeat something, they want their kids to act a certain way, they want them in a certain spot, and since they're their kids, they can be a little more stern and raise their voice. So those behind the scenes that everyone is seeing, that kind of scares them, it's not uncommon.
Fake being happy. Okay?
Oh my God.
I don't know if I can right now.
One of the reasons we were willing to give the raw footage to the production team for this documentary was to get this point across. And one of the biggest fears, if not the biggest fear of any family content creator on social media today, is having their raw footage somehow leaked, and so that people can see what really goes on behind the camera. These individuals are wanting everyone to believe that their content is uplifting and wholesome and pure, and sure, the final product.
A relationship where we can just talk, but when it comes to her actually being a mom and then eventually a grandma, I don't think I'll ever have that kind of close relationship again.
Oh wow.
It's hard, of course, but I mean, when I go home,
no, not all the way. The cat closed it all the way.
I feel like no one's missing. I don't really feel like I wish Mom was here. I don't really have those feelings really at all.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
It doesn't feel wrong not having her in my home. That's okay. So I feel like I'm in a good spot, even though she's
going to be there for a long time, and I genuinely hope that she gets the help that she needs, and isn't just abandoned in some hole, because I really believe that
his hair goes
that
all
she
over
was
his
damaged
face.
severely by swallowing the teachings that Jody just was serving up for her. Do I still feel to say
crazy.
that, after being married over 20 years to that woman, I truly did and still do love her.
20 years.
But that doesn't excuse what she did, and it doesn't excuse how she hurt our children and how she hurt me. And there's some things that there's some bridges that you just can't cross and then cross back. She burned the bridges. As of today, I'm still working through the divorce. We're trying to reach a settlement. It's been a long process, well over a year, but it's ongoing. All
right, I changed that video.
Only in Brooklyn do you have a 1-bedroom apartment flexed into a 5-bedroom. Check this out. This is insane. and wait until you hear the price on this one. Here's your first flex bedroom.
Gotta be
Open kitchen
expensive
living
in
room space
Brooklyn.
with a dishwasher.
Look
Your
how
bathroom
little.
in your closet. And then you have your next flex bedroom. No actual window to the outside, but you do have a window to the living room if that counts.
What?
Full bathroom over here, nicely tiled, and your one and only proper bedroom in the apartment over here. We'll head downstairs. You would think this would be priced as maybe a 2-bedroom apartment, but nope, priced as a full 5-bedroom.
What?
Here's your next flex bedroom, no window. You do have an in-unit washer and dryer, so that's nice. Tiled
It's so
flooring down
narrow.
here.
Everything is in there.
Wooden floorings upstairs. You do have windows in the basement, so that's a good touch. And then you have your next flex bedroom over here. You have central AC and heat, and then we'll check out your private backyard. This is going for $5,000 a month.
A what? A
Only in Brooklyn do you have a 1-bedroom apartment flexed into a 5-bedroom.
Oh, sorry,
Check this
5,000.
out.
Are
This is
you?
insane.
Oh my
And
God!
wait until you hear the price on this
You said
one. Here's your
3,000.
first flex
5,000.
bedroom.
Scary things you didn't know. This sound is just a cat meowing sadly. The cat died after that video of it meowing was recorded. The owner slowed it down and made this audio. If you don't believe me, speed up the audio.
No.
Scary things you didn't know.
I know you belong to mine, but tonight you belong to me.
That's the other sisters. That's crazy. Rate 5,000. I'll go back to the main page, see what I can look at.
This tragedy
Yeah.
isn't something that you can just put easy and clean labels on. It's a
happened.
very complex story.
Oh, thank you.
I just had a 12-year-old boy show up here at my front door. He's got duct taped around each ankle. He's obviously covered in wounds.
Frankie, how do you plead to count 1, child abuse? Guilty. To count 3,
Let's
child
can't leave in
abuse.
tolerance for 2 hours.
With my deepest
What
regret
is wrong with
and
these
sorrow for
people?
my family and my children. Guilty.
And leaving their kids alone and stuff.
A lot of the physical violence that was described was hidden and kept from me. I didn't even know that those things happened, and I think Ruby was really careful to hide a lot
You
of
know
that
what?
from me. As far as the things like sleeping on a beam.
I wanted to share with y'all this one story I seen. Now, history, right? Now I gotta go into all of. Oh, make sure y'all check out my HelloFresh commercial, guys. This story right here. I seen this last night and I was stuck. This is the one I was telling you about. I believe this young lady needs help herself. She definitely needs, just a product.
Because I'm a girl and he's a boy, I'm just not comfortable.
So my report also indicates that you're in a relationship with Grandpa. So everybody's sleeping with Grandpa? So when's the last time he's been to a doctor?
That's a good question.
On October
Look at
17th,
that.
2023, officers responded to a residence following
Hasn't
a
even
report
went
of
to
a
the
child
doctors.
being
Look at the house.
neglected, including lack of food and proper living conditions.
There's literally so many cans.
Okay.
That's all cans of beer. The grandpa stay in one room.
Hey.
Hi, I'm Jessica. I'm with CCS. How are you, honey? Okay. So I have to come in and do an investigation.
They need to get this lady some help.
He just knocks everybody down who don't work.
Okay.
He's supposed to be a bad wife, but I'm
Okay,
not
but
a
where?
good
Okay,
wife.
so first, where? So he can get into this, which is bad.
Well, his daddy did that.
Well, it needs to be taken care of.
Well, we will.
Oh, wow.
Where's the food at?
Where's the food at?
We think he took everything.
Okay. Because if he get anything, if he gets in it, because this is where do you sleep at, Tessa?
But it was so late after talking in the office.
Tessa, where do you sleep at, honey?
Either in this room or that one.
Okay.
I sleep on the top He just got jealous. He got jealous because they have a good relationship.
Okay. And there's a 4-year-old in here.
And that's why I'm willing to work with
This is not.
Hey, Mom.
This is not a situation.
The millionaire's on.
And that's what his dad does. He throws moves things around.
You go.
Oh,
We'll
Lord.
be back in the morning, but I'm gonna
How early in the morning?
I don't know,
Look,
but
how
you guys
early?
need to figure it out.
Well,
Because
no,
we're gonna be in your
your
lives until this is taken care of.
Well, yeah, and I'm willing to do it, but
No.
he just, with him here,
Okay.
it's a drama.
Okay. And
Lord have mercy. One of the adults got to take the initiative and clean up.
so those are things that have to be done. He's 4.
He's 4, but
Okay.
believe it or not,
Okay, but still,
he's got a little mouth.
he's 4.
He
And
got a
so
little
you
mouth.
guys need to worry about the safety of this.
All these clothes and stuff, they don't wash, clean them.
Nobody's a bad mom. Nobody's saying it was a bad mom, but when there's
Trying.
domestic violence and there's some issues, then we need to get that taken care of.
Isn't it,
right?
Mom? They come back in the morning, and this is where I realize that
So
she needs
what's
help.
going on?
Look.
Well, last night I was asleep. I'd woken up and he had been yelling about something, but I didn't understand.
She's gonna tell him a whole different story.
This is dad.
Was he asked to leave this property last night?
Yeah, and he came back this morning.
Is he allowed to be back?
I think so, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so you guys got in an argument last night.
Mm-hmm.
About what?
I'm not real sure. The only thing I got out of it was that I was in Dad's room.
Okay.
Because he wanted us both out. But by yelling at us, we just wanted to stay because we
Oh my
didn't feel
God.
comfortable.
Okay.
Lord have mercy.
Okay.
This is why I said they should have offered her help. Look at this.
Well, he's cluttered basically. Really neat.
Yeah, I mean, this doesn't look good, Tisa.
No.
There's a lawnmower right there.
So who's all living here?
Oh God.
Food stamps, access.
Yeah, I was dealing with that.
The baby's 4 and hasn't went to the doctors. Remind me of Adrian.
So are you on food stamps?
Yeah, technically. I'm dealing with that.
Technically, she has food stamps.
You dropped me.
You dropped me.
600. That's it.
When's the
600
last
instead.
Been to the doctor.
Oh,
Look.
that's been a while.
Okay. Is he up to date on his immunizations?
No.
Oh my God.
Who's his primary care doctor?
I feel so bad. How is he gonna start school? Like, who's gonna get him up and ready for school at that age?
I haven't seen her in a while. I looked at female up there.
A little trampoline and stuff.
Never been pregnancy.
He's running around with them grandpa boots on. Uh-oh, I'm lagging.
Has both of our backs.
Any other concerns for him?
Other than, the fact that he thinks his father hates him, no. But I want him to feel loved. I want him to know he's cared for.
So is he not potty trained yet, or
Nope.
what's going on with that?
We're working on it. He's gotten to play a couple times. It's a good job. And because I'm a girl and he's a boy, I'm just not comfortable.
Oh, look at he's a
Being the
boy.
one to take that home. But his father's
I don't know. It's bad. Very bad.
That's the problem. When you have someone pin you down, it's hard to stay up. It's hard to be a good person.
So my report also indicates that you're in a relationship with Grandpa.
No.
Are you guys in a physical relationship?
No, she takes care of it. It's not like that. My
What?
dad feeds me. He gives me cereals. He has a bed. I can just crawl in. And if there's no pallet made, if he's asleep on the couch, you just have to crawl up on the floor.
Uh-oh.
There.
Junior sleep.
With Grandpa.
Okay.
So
Oh my
everybody's
God.
sleeping with
Everybody's
Grandpa?
sleeping with
Not
Grandpa.
everybody.
Well, you said you do and he does.
I do when
Where's Tiny sleep?
Oh my God.
So what room are you sleeping in?
Usually I sleep in the living room.
Oh my
but
God.
it's more
Where?
like Grandpa.
Alright, can I do a walkthrough of the house?
She says she sleeps on the sofa.
And I get bit too. There's things that have been biting me.
That's crazy.
I'm not sure what.
And that's just so normal. This kid's gonna go to somebody's foster home and
Jessica came out here from DCS.
All
She told
they
you guys to clean up. So has this been cleaned
look,
up?
2 refrigerators. At some point, they looked like they was doing good. You know what I mean? They got paper towels. That's like a want.
Okay, so
I
where's
mean,
Dad at so I can talk to Dad?
and that's in a trailer.
This is Grandpa's room where they all sleep, apparently.
Where do you sleep, buddy?
I just wait to go sleep.
Look, where he sleep at? Poor baby can't even answer. And Grandpa back there fucking sleeping still. I know. Oh God, what's in her cup?
Talk to you outside for a few minutes?
Look, talk to you outside. They can't.
Camera, so you're aware I'm recording
Look,
myself.
he said I'm recording.
So the department received a report. So we were out last night.
He's recording
you
this
weren't
off on
here,
a
so I'm
fucking
gonna go over your
laptop.
rights with you first, okay? So DCS has no legal authority to compel or make you cooperate with our investigation or to accept any services. So I mean,
Watch his excuses too. He says he can't go to work and go home. Everybody's living off the Social Security.
So DCS has no legal authority to compel or make for determination of child safety.
He does, but I have to find him, and that mountain of whatever it is.
He says, does he have shoes and clothes?
So if at any time that I felt that your child was unsafe, I do have the authority to petition the juvenile court. Your refusal to cooperate does not in itself form a basis for DCS to take care.
That's it.
I'll be better off without those on, so why don't we take them off? Do you want to take them off?
No. So you do have the right to provide written
Talking about he don't
verbal
have,
responses
he don't got
to the
no
allegations
clothes.
and to have those considered in the investigation.
We still here?
There are 2 phone numbers on this form. Those
They
2 phone
grandpa
numbers is
boots.
what's called the Arizona Avengement Citizen Aid Office. What that is, if you felt like I was rude.
Oh
Getting
God.
too angry about it, and not listening.
So is anybody working right now?
No, but her mom makes a paycheck.
How much
Look
does
at
the
that.
Her
mom
mom makes probably $1,000 in Social Security disability.
make? So how's that
$1,000, and it
representing
even
for
good.
4 adults and a child.
Exactly, that's my point.
Okay.
There's nobody to clean the house, but I can't do everything for everyone and go to work.
How long have you guys been living
Now,
here?
if I were maybe a living caregiver or something, that would be different, but I'm not.
How long have you guys been here?
We've been here now for going on 3 years at least.
So, because I don't know if you remember me or not, but I had the original investigation back in 2019 when he was first born.
It wasn't this bad originally.
No, it wasn't, and that's why I'm...
And then it wasn't this bad when we came back here.
Okay.
It only got this bad because we can't stop fighting long enough to just talk.
Okay.
Just, listen and understand. I'm not perfect either. I do things wrong. I've been handling it the wrong way, obviously.
So
All right, everybody. It's getting late and I'm tired.
That's a good question.
Okay. Is he
I
up to
love you
date on
guys.
his
Thank you for
immunizations?
hanging with me while I was eating.
Okay. Is he
And
meeting his milestones?
we
Daycare?
will see each other
We
tomorrow.
don't do daycare, but I do try to
Deuces.
work with him from time to time.
Okay.
With letters and shapes and such.
What about potty training?
Potty training.
Hmm?